Well, good evening everyone and welcome back to the Lighthouse in Poole. It's been 2.5 years since we were here on the south coast of the UK. We've held 64 bouts since then and crowned a few champions along the way. 2 of those champions defend their belts tonight, and of course we will crown one more. Hello again folks, thanks for joining us here at the Lighthouse in Poole for Polaris 10, live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. My name's Josh Palmer, bringing you all the action tonight. We hope you're enjoying your bank holiday weekend. If you're over in the US, your Memorial Day weekend as well. Full card for you to look forward to. 6 bouts on the main tonight. Let's take a look at the fight card and see what's coming up. All the main card bouts this evening are no-gi, and kicking off tonight it is the heavyweights, a contest between ADCC trials winner Nick Rodriguez and 2-time Polaris veteran Ash Amos. A scintillating middleweight bout follows as 10th Planet freak Richie Martinez takes on the man with the best submission record on Polaris, Miha Paravesh. Next up, 2 men with 85 pro MMA bouts between them. Cal Uno faces Lee Remedios. Our first of 3 title fights that round out tonight's card. ADCC veteran Ethan Krellinston meets Welsh standout Ashley Williams for the lightweight belt. Craig Jones makes his first defense of the middleweight strap in our co-main event. That's against Marcelo Garcia phenom Mateus Lutis. And in our main event, champion Nicky Ryan puts his belt on the line against 6-time WEC champion and longtime UFC veteran, the California Kid, Uriah Faber. Well, all that to look forward to. The crowd are packing the Lighthouse here in Poole. We've already had a fantastic card of prelims. We're going to go straight ahead and get on with the main card here for you this evening. It's time to throw it over to our MC, Bade Johnson, for you to meet tonight's fighters.
Shocking to go to the back. Oh, nice sweep single. Good takedown for Gary Tom. Down in, trying to keep that thumb up, but Uno escapes. Oh, he gets the tap. Take a fast pace in this one. She tries. What a fantastic. Oh, he's got deep. Taquinho is definitely in pain here. Lots of things. That was very nice. This could be.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce our contestants for the Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu main card. Introducing Ash Amos. Nick Rodriguez. Richie Martinez. Miha Paravesh. Cal Uno. Lee Bulldog Remedios. And for the Polaris lightweight title, Ash Williams. Ethan Krellinston. And for the Polaris middleweight championship, the challenger, Mateus Lutz. The defending champion, Craig Jones. And your main event for the Polaris featherweight title, the challenger, Uriah Faber. and your defending champion, Nikki Ryan. Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu, these are your contestants for the main card this evening.
I think it's going to be fun. There's different levels to this, and the guy's nowhere near my level, so it's nothing to worry about.
I'm probably going to have a good ding-dong this time, but I think me and Nick are going to have it out, and we're going to have not a fight, because there's not much violence in jiu-jitsu, but we're going to have a proper old-school grappling match.
I'll just go out there and do it. Yeah, just get my hand raised, you know?
I think we're quite polar opposites in personality. I'm very chilled out and quite humble. He's very brash, if you like, so I think it makes for a good match.
I don't know as much as probably my opponent, but I know how to execute a lot better.
I've had quite a few messages from people around the UK. T-Rail, they like train a bit.
Take down, back control, probably squeeze his face off. That's it.
So let's take a look at the teletape for our opening bout. 105 kilos, no-gi bout. Ashley Amos, representing Tulare Combat and Amos Martial Arts in Wales, is taking on the American hype train big Nick Rodriguez, representing Enzo Gracie, NYC, and South Jersey Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Live on UFC UFC Fight Pass Polaris 10. Here at the Lighthouse Pool, Dorset, now set for 50 minutes no-gi contest at 105 kilograms. First to the mat, we introduce a judo black belt and jiu-jitsu brown belt. He weighed in at 105.3 kilograms from Hereford, representing Tillery Combat, Ash Amos.
So Ash Amos makes his way to the stage here at Polaris 10. Brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in Judo. He's had some MMA matches along the way as well. He really was touted as a prodigy when he was coming up through the lower ranks. Now he's the brown belt. He's taking on someone who's got the exact same hype behind him. Let's see how he does here this evening.
A jiu-jitsu blue belt hit the contestant at 104.7 kilograms from the US of A, and fighting out of Renzo Gracie, New York City, presenting Nick Rodriguez.
So welcome to Polaris 10, the debut of Nick Rodriguez, representing Renzo Gracie, NYC and South Jersey Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You may have heard him announced as a blue belt. He technically is, but he's also got some good D3 wrestling behind him. He's been beating a lot of people in the US. He, of course, did win the ADCC West Coast trials after about 9 or 10 months of training. He's technically only been training jiu-jitsu for a year. You see a shot of Gary Tonin, who's going to be cornering him here this evening. Very much looking forward to this one. As Ash Amos said, we're hoping for a bit of a ding-dong here, head-to-head with the heavyweights. Excited for this one, guys?
Absolutely. Battle of the large lads.
Yeah, I think you've been talking about Nick Rodriguez for probably about a year now.
I have to say, Nick is a training partner of mine on occasion, and it's a very painful experience. So, Josh Palmer, Tom Barlow, and Dan Strauss bringing you all the action Matt side here from the Lighthouse in Poole for Polaris 10. Get on social media, use the hashtag Polaris10. Let us know what you think of all of tonight's action. Plenty of grappling coming your way. 3 title belts on the line tonight. But first up, Nick Rodriguez, Ash Amos, heavyweight division. Ed Ingemel's our referee for this one.
Okay. Back it up and wait for my signal, okay, guys? Nick, back a bit more, please.
And just trying to separate them. They're clearly eager to go here.
That's what you want to see. Ed Ingemel's the referee, actually was Ash Amos's last victory.
That is an interesting bit of trivia. I know he's going to be completely impartial though, so that's not have any notion that that's going to play into it. So a bit of wrestling versus a bit of judo, but of course Ash Amos, a lot of MMA experience as well. So he got his wrestling experience via that route. He was victorious last time out over Ed Ingemel in a very grinding 15-minute bout. Heavy snap down from Nicky Rod, not able to capitalize though.
Yeah, Nicky is a giant guy. He's 105 kilos, but he's also shredded, and he will never let you forget it.
No, the joke this weekend has been he's allergic to tops. Now watch this, he's going to go low on the knee, shoot a sweep outside single around the outside, or at least that's what he's going to try. But Ash Amos does a good job of engaging up top.
Yeah, Ash is
forcing him back to the feet.
Ash is a lump himself. He's also, over the last couple of years, he got quite into his weightlifting as well, his ollie lifting. Put on a lot of size, went up from 95 kilos to 105. He's a big, solid, powerful grappler.
Yeah, he generated a lot of power with that Olympic lifting. So tying up top here, just feeling each other out on the feet. Heavy collar tie from Amos. Yeah, 1 year of D3 wrestling at Ferrum College for Nick Rodriguez. Dropped out to become a fitness model after that. And that's another big snap down. Looks to go head and arm on top. He's going to go to the back here.
Yeah, very nice transition straight from the head and arm into the back.
Yeah, this really is his thing. This is what he looks to do. He tries to take it to the ground. He tries to take the back position. And like all the Danaher guys, their back take stuff is very good.
Yeah,
their back retention is excellent, and their finishes are also fantastic.
He spends an awful lot of time in the blue basement at Renzo Gracie, New York City, with the likes of Gordon Ryan and co down there. He's been training a lot with Craig Jones, Jake Shields. I mean, it's very hard to not get better very quickly when that's what you're doing several times a week. And there is a shot of Gary Tonin, recently returned from an excellent submission victory on 1FC. Happy to have him here with us for the event. Of course, I'm sure he'll be cornering Nicky Ryan in his title defense a little bit later, but they're forced back to the feet here.
Good job from Ash Amos managing to avoid the secure back position.
Yeah, and he stayed very relaxed for that whole thing. You know, takedowns themselves are pretty tiring. Nick does carry a lot of muscle, so that could play a factor later on in the fight.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I believe that the longer this match goes, the more it favours Ash Amos.
Yeah, it certainly does. He was really good at grinding out Ed Ingemels over the distance after being in a little bit of trouble early on with the leg game. It was an attempted power double with the head in the middle by Nick Rodriguez, but just a little bit slow off the mark with that change of level. There he goes, big up onto the single, and
really nicely defended.
Oh, big throw, fireman's carry from Nick Rodriguez up to knee on belly.
Relentless attacking there.
Ash Amos wanted a scrap, he's in one now. Side control for Nick Rodriguez. I was not going to call it a category rumor because obviously it's a wrestling background for Nick Rodriguez. So fireman's carry to earn the top position here. Through the first 3 minutes, and you got to say, well, it's 5-minute periods, I have to say. With prelims, we were 10, with 15 minutes for the main card. So 3 5-minute periods is what the judges are going to break this down over. And we know already that Ash Amos is not going to panic, even under the heaviest of pressure.
And he manages to get back to his feet again. Every time Nick takes him down and isn't able to secure a dominant position, Ash is going to become more confident.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, the facial expression from Ash Amos was fantastic. It was kind of like, oh, he's heavy, but here I am back out again. So, you know, let's see if this goes any deeper. We're coming up on 4 minutes in here.
When you come from an MMA background like Ash does, it's hard to get super stressed out in grappling matches.
Yeah, that was a lovely little turnaround from Ash just to avoid the back control again. And look at him shooting his own double.
Yeah, and he got in pretty deep on there. Nicky Rod forced to switch the hips.
You know, Ash is very relaxed as well. The more relaxed you are, the longer you're going to be able to conserve that energy, which is so important.
Yeah, we wanted a scrap, and definitely getting one. I really hope Ash doesn't shoot another double, though, because he's going to end up over on our neck of the woods from the commentary table at this angle. So,
yeah, I'm prepared to catch the monitor.
And a good throw by Nick Rodriguez. Coming up to the end of the first 5 minutes, and that's probably going to go on the scorecard for Nick.
Yeah, I don't think you can dispute that. Two takedown attempts and or 2 takedowns secured, positions secured, but not able to turn anything else into it, you know.
Yeah, and this middle 5 is where it starts getting dicey, because this was where he was able to turn it around against Ingemels and just notch that one up on the scoreboard and then really turn it on in the third. So, you know, all to play for. Again now, power double from Rodriguez, not able to change. He goes shooting in again, big sprawl from Amos, and he defends the back well, but he does end up giving up side control once more.
Really good defense of the takedowns from Ash Amos, but relentless. Nicky Rodriguez not stopping until he's on the ground.
What you're seeing are 2 heavyweights who do not move like heavyweights. Neither of them. The defense from Amos has been fantastic. His defensive wrestling has been excellent, and obviously Nick Rodriguez's offensive wrestling has been solid as well. It's a lot of weight moving very quickly.
It's really the difference between someone who's good at wrestling and someone who's a good wrestler. Someone who's good at wrestling has the ability to shoot a nice takedown, but someone who's a good wrestler is going to keep going as they would be used to in wrestling competition until they get that takedown.
Yeah, Nick Rod, I know, he's been doing some training up at Rutgers wrestling room as well, getting in with a lot of young guns there. Highlight Humphrey and the likes of the more established wrestlers on the East Coast. Amos, of course, at lower belts, 5 times British champion and European champion as well. He's got 2 wins already on Polaris, and he went searching on his own single there.
That was a pretty good shot, in all honesty. He was pretty deep on that leg. It was just the bounds that saved Nick Rodriguez.
This is classic experienced competitor. This is a smart competitor, which is, if Nicky feels like he's on the back foot, he's going to allow himself to go towards the edge of the mat, back to the mat. So when Ash shoots on him, even if he's got a great catch on that takedown, the refs stop it and they restart him in the middle. You know, what Ash really wants to do, if he catches that single leg, drag Nicky back into the center and then
back in, cut the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're finding their way to the edge of the mat again, and you know, if it ends up being a protracted wrestling battle like that, it's those kind of near shots that are going to put it on the judges' scorecards.
Bear in mind, in the second round so far, no takedown attempts from Nicky Rodriguez.
No, that's what I mean, right? So
right now, you can't. I don't think that you can argue that Ash Amos.
Commentators go.
You know what? Forget what I was saying.
Yeah, and Nick's in a good kind of back position now. He looks like he's almost secured it.
Yeah, he's trying to get on the face. I mean, look, I know he's going to go across the face before he
Okay,
before he worries about clean chokes. Looking to haul him into the back position here.
Yeah, and keep him in bounds as well. That's the other thing that he's doing.
Well, there we go. Back.
This is a very, very bad position for Ash Amos.
It is, and we're only halfway through this battle.
We might see the drag again.
Oh, the refs have really got to be careful with this one. Oh, big squeeze, and he gets the tap. Nick Rodriguez, once he found his way to the back, gets the choke and makes quick work of Amos. But I've got to say, Ash Amos's defensive wrestling and his tenacity was phenomenal. Moves unbelievably well.
He did a great job up until that last shot, and it looked like he maybe got a little bit tired.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're seeing a few holes in the game of Nicky Rod that Amos was able to expose there. Gary Tonin happy with that. Nick Rodriguez and Ash Amos show some respect. We're going to take a look at the replays here.
So here we can see Nick Rodriguez dive in for that back, trying to secure the seatbelt so he can set the hooks up. Ash just kind of stops in this turtle position, close to the out of bounds, and Nick just keeps searching for that neck.
Yeah, once that hand or that arm is around the neck, you're really in a lot of trouble. It's all about grip fighting at that point. As soon as he had it locked in there, even if it isn't underneath the jaw, even if it's over the face, he's going to be able to generate enough force to get the tap.
Great job from our refs for letting it go on as well. Excellent mat awareness. Okay, let's hand you over to the referee for the decision.
This contest came to a halt with 7 minutes 30 seconds left of the contest, declaring a winner by submission with a rear naked choke, Nick Rodriguez.
I'm here with our winner, Nick Rodriguez. Nick, give us your thoughts on that bout. Did anything surprise you about how Ash Amos moved? Because he had some great defensive wrestling there a few times.
Yeah, his wrestling's pretty good, a pretty strong guy. I was surprised how well he moved, like in the collar tie and stuff. Good match for sure.
You were pretty open about thinking you were going to win this one. You had a lot of confidence coming into this. What's your mindset going into these matches?
I don't lose, so keep the ball rolling.
What's next for you then?
ADCC, I got a couple super fights coming up, so make some cash before that, but ready to rock and roll.
You've had a good time here on Polaris, and you'd want to come back at some point?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Nicky Rodriguez!
Faber, a legend in the MMA world.
Yeah, you're right. Faber showing up for his title fight later with Nicky Ryan. As you mentioned just there, Dan, an absolute legend in MMA. Richie Martinez, Miha Pervesh is going to be our next bout. And this is a bout that a lot of people have been looking forward to because it's so even and it really could go either way. Miha Perkovic, we'll talk about it in the walkouts, I'm sure, but one of the best submission guys on the Polaris card. Martinez versus Perkovic, that's coming up next. Join us shortly.
really excited to be out here and being able to compete against some of the best in the world.
I feel like it's a natural progression, a natural next step.
You know, I've done a little bit of research, but it's mostly like I'm focused on my skills. You know, like I want him to worry about me, not me worry about him.
I've been anticipating fighting better guys for a long time, so it's nothing special. Just another fight, another scrap.
You know, it's definitely going to be a tough opponent, but I feel that my skills is always rising, so I'm really excited to take the challenge. I'm always searching to get a submission. I think that's what makes me who I am.
My prediction is that I'll go 4-0 with a submission. It might not be a leg lock this time, but it's going to be a submission.
Tail of the tape for this bout. Richie Martinez representing 10th Planet Freaks. He's taking on Slovenian by way of Dublin, Miha Perhaves.
Live on UFC Fight Pass from the Lighthouse in Poole, Dorset, Polaris 10, now set for 15-minute no-gi contest in the middleweight division. First to make his way down to the mat at 84.1 kilograms. A Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt from the US of A, and fighting out of 10th Planet Freaks, presenting Richie Boogeyman Martinez.
Richie Martinez returns to the Polaris stage. Actually, last time he was here in this particular city, he was cornering his brother Gio Martinez on the show. But black belt under Eddie Bravo's picked up a couple of good medals at World's No-Gi as well, and EBI. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do here. He will fight absolutely anybody, anywhere. We're very happy to have him back here on Polaris.
And now his opponent, a Polaris veteran and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, weighed in at 84.4 kilograms, fighting from Slovenia and out of East Coast Jiu-Jitsu Academy, Miha Perhaves.
So Miha Perhaves is making his way. Technically, he has his hometown as being Dublin under East Coast Jiu-Jitsu, but he travels and trains pretty much everywhere in the world, spending a lot of time recently in the Blue Basement in New York with the guys at Danaher Death Squad, all over the place, really.
Yeah, he does a lot of the online stuff for Keenan, for Yoga for BJJ, and that allows him to travel the world, basically be a nomad, traveling around, training with different people, competing all over the world. So the guy has a lot of experience. He's really deep in the jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah, and he's one of the guys on Polaris who's really shone. He's got progressively harder matches every time, and he's dominated his opponents with footlock submissions pretty much every time. Took out Yanis Reedskin's Polaris 4, River Dillon Polaris 5, Jamie Scott last time out Polaris 7. This is a big step up, though, in Richie Martinez in terms of the world submission grappling stage.
Yeah, it's the first black belt that he's going against, and this is a massive step up in competition, but I think it's a step up that makes a lot of sense for him at this point.
It does. I mean, a lot of the polls that have been bandied about for this match, nobody can actually pick a winner. They're pretty much 50-50 in every online poll that I've seen. Our referee Nick Brooks is going to get this one underway. White and black shorts for Perhaves. All black for Richie Martinez, and a big high.
Excellent takedown there.
He just kind of stepped across, didn't really lower his level and get under the hips. He just
Nobody
stepped
saw
across.
that coming.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to saying that Richie Martinez is the taller of the two competitors, but you know, you and I have discussed this a few times, Dan. Miha's pretty big himself.
He's a big guy. Richie going for the back here, but he's locked up a Kimura grip on that forearm.
Well, the problem is, if he stays hunting that Kimura, is he going to give up something a bit more critical?
Yeah, it looks like Richie's on that back and on the neck as well.
On the neck in. Wow, manages to get.
He's locking those hands off. You don't lock those hands off unless you think you've got this.
Yeah,
we can't see, but you know that Richie's confident at this point.
It looks like it's on the chin. That doesn't mean it's not going to get the submission, though.
It does look like it's in. He gets the tap. Richie Martinez puts away Miha Perhaves.
Wow.
In 53 seconds. Well, if there was ever any doubt, Richie Martinez just shut it down.
Yeah, that was an absolute blunder from Miha.
Yeah,
he made a
on that
mistake.
Kimura too long.
You grab a Kimura and allow someone to take your back. Don't keep going for it. You've got to be smart. You've got to let go. And he paid dearly.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the change in level. When you're going against someone who's that level, they're going to take advantage of your mistakes. And that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, Richie Martinez, he's going to be very, very happy with that. Came all this way from San Diego for a 53-second bout. Let's dive into our... actually, no, we're going to check out some of the replays first. And Richie Martinez asking the crowd to get involved. Talk us through this, guys.
A strong takedown to start with for Miha, and it looked good from the start. Richie did a good job of just recovering his guard, but then jumped on the back. We can just see it's across the chin, it looks like, but that can still apply the choke, and it can be very, very painful as well.
As Bralo Estima once said to me, anything above the neck is still the neck.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw it with Ethan Krenenstein on his last match, actually.
Yeah, the lost Polaris that I fought on, 9, I think. We saw a lot of it, or 8. A lot of this. You can get the hand around the face, you're just going to squeeze and get the tap.
Absolutely. Let's pass you over to the announcer for the decision.
This contest came to a halt in under just 1 minute, declaring a winner by submission with a rear naked choke, Richie Boogeyman Martinez.
I am here with a very happy Richie Martinez. Richie, I think 53 seconds is probably what we're going to clock that at. Give us your thoughts on what was a very quick performance from you.
You know, I knew he was going to try to do some judo. I was going to try to stop it with a little bit of counter wrestling. And honestly, he did amazing, you know, with that judo toss. I couldn't stop it. And before I knew it, I had to play my game. Now we're on the ground. You know, I'm a ground player. You know, I'm a jiu-jitsu fighter, so I'm not going to wrestle around if I don't have to. Took the bag, took it home, and I'm really happy to bring this title back to 10 Planet and 10 Planet Freaks. You know, I know he'd be one of my teammates, you know what I'm saying, Jamie, and I'm happy to get that win back for him, and you know, I'm ready to just take over already.
Did you have to change your mindset a bit coming into this, knowing that, you know, you look on paper, he's a lower level belt, but he's knocked up some massive submission wins. Did that play in your head at all coming into this one?
Yeah, don't be fooled. He's a monster. You know what I'm saying? If you look at his footage, he's an awesome athlete, awesome jiu-jitsu player. I knew who he was before they even asked me to fight him, you know, and that's no joke. I look up, I do research, I knew who he was, and when they asked me, I knew right away I wanted to fight him. He's a tough opponent and somebody that's making waves over here in the European scene, so I was ready to go.
A lot of people were really looking forward to this one, and you put that pretty much beyond doubt. You know, what's next for you? Have you had a good time here at Polaris?
Yeah, I had an awesome time, man. I would love to come back, hopefully sooner than later. But, you know, whatever they throw my way, I have a couple things coming up. But, yeah, I'm pumped up, and I'm ready to just take over.
Well, safe travels back to California. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Richie Boogeyman Martinez. Battle of old school MMA coming up next. Cal Uno has traveled over from Tokyo. He's going to be taking on one of the old guard of British mixed martial arts, Lee Remedios. Stay tuned with us at Polaris 10. More action coming up shortly.
I took the fight on 2 weeks' notice, quite short notice. But I was pretty sharp anyway. I've been competing in judo and I've been competing at Europeans and stuff in jiu-jitsu. I'm in a gi, so it's a little bit different, but it's not too different.
須藤元気選手と、対戦したことがあるという選手で、UFC に出てるってことは非常にMMA ですけどレベルが高い、総合的に非常に強い選手だと思ってますので、すごく対戦するのが楽しみです。
I've been eating a lot, lifting a lot, and I've been doing a lot of cardio, a lot of training. You know, I'm trying to find guys to roll with. You know.
攻撃もディフェンスもこうスクランブルするような試合をしたいと思います。
I think jiu-jitsu-wise, maybe I'm being a bit arrogant here, but I think we're probably well matched. I'm going to try and take his back and choke him. He'll obviously have different ideas, so we'll see how that goes.
Tail of the tape for this one, Cal Uno from Uno Dojo in Japan. He's taking on CFS team Brit Lee Remedios.
Polaris 10 live on UFC Fight Pass. 15 minutes, no gi contest in the lightweight division. First, to make his way down to the mat, a UFC and Polaris veteran, weighed in at 69.4 kilograms from Japan and fighting out of Uno Dojo, Cal Uno.
So we welcome back to Polaris Cal Uno, representing Uno Dojo, originally from Yokosuka, Japan, now living in Tokyo. Black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo, but obviously, really, you've got to talk about 55 pro MMA fights. With 32 wins and 17 submission wins, made his debut all the way back in 1996, and his last bout was as late ago as 2017. Fought in the UFC 10 times, fought the likes of BJ Penn, Jens Pulver, Yves Edwards, and Hermes Franca. It really has been there and done it in combat sports.
And introducing his opponent, a UFC veteran and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt from Huddersfield, England, fighting out of CFSBJJ, presenting Lee Bulldog Remedios.
So Lee Remedios, representing Team CFS, makes his way to the mat. Lee Remedios has been in mixed martial arts for a very long time, made his debut in 1997 at the age of 21, was one of the first contestants ever from the UK to fight on the UFC. That was UFC 38 at the Royal Albert Hall back in 2002, dropped a loss to Genki Sudo. So really has been around for a very long time. He's got 18 wins on his record from 30 fights, 13 of those by submission. Has also actually fought John Kavanagh, Conor McGregor's coach, in an MMA bout as well. Thanks to Made for Fighters for sponsoring the bout here this evening. Our referee Ed Ingemels is going to be in the center for this one. Both men wearing all black, but the full-length spats for Lee Remedios and the shorts for Cal Uno. Quick look there at the corners of both men. Josh Parler, Tom Barlow and Dan Strauss bringing you all the action from the Lighthouse here. Hope you're enjoying the show so far.
How could they not?
Well, no, exactly.
How could they not?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic show, really.
So, fighting for hand grips here. Good arm drag from Uno, gets the head on the chest, but doesn't manage to turn Remedios fully.
Yeah, this was a relatively late notice match for Lee Remedios. It was originally meant to be Cal Uno versus Brad Pickett. Pickett picked up an injury in the last couple of weeks, and they found a similar style of grappler, a little bit more dynamic. So actually, I'm very happy to see this match, if I'm honest with you.
Lee's always in great shape. I've trained with him a few times. You know, he just fought in European Masters at the start of May, so he's in good shape.
I mean, he's been doing a lot of gi training, you know, over the last few years, hasn't he? So Uno going searching on a single there. Whizzer stops the onslaught for Lee Remedios.
Go, ready, guys.
Yeah, Carl does seem to be taking dominance over the grip fighting and the attempts for takedowns thus far, which is pretty much expected considering his pedigree.
Yeah, you got to point out Caol Uno has actually competed at the ADCCs before, back in 1999.
That is ridiculous.
He picked up a silver. Of course, 10 years later, we're going to see the ADCCs later this year in Anaheim as Uno goes spinning to the back and earns a takedown to top position here and into half guard very quickly.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, very nice. Just dragged Lee down to the mat and then immediately started passing.
It's interesting, he's not locking the grips down up top. He's kind of keeping his hands floating a little bit here.
Possibly looking for a head and arm here. He's looking to bring his head underneath the elbow. If he can get that, raise that arm up.
Yeah, Lee's done a good job of just pulling that back inside.
So Uno going to pin that far wrist, looking for Kimura transition here.
I was going to say, kind of only 2 attacks you can really make from the half guard position.
Looks like he might have this straight armbar. It's definitely in position. Lee's having to scramble to
If he can pass the guard now, expect for him to go for a far side armbar off that underhook.
Yeah, so looking to knee slice through here. Well, switches the knee back.
Yeah, 2 main things that you can do from the half guard position here is try and work for a head and arm or look to lock up those hands in a Kimura grip. And off the Kimura you can take Americana switches, you can take a straight armbar or the more traditional Kimura.
And Carl's just applying a little bit of pressure to that neck, making it uncomfortable for Lee.
Yeah, he's anchoring that hand onto the collarbone there and using it to create some more leverage. Remedios trying to turn back in here, see if he can get some of his escapes going. We're through almost at the 3-minute mark on this one.
Yeah, Carl's showing great flexibility, basically in full splits to try and get out of this lockdown position.
Yeah, he's in incredible shape for his age. Very, very mobile guy.
Yeah, 44 years old for Caol Uno, 43 for Remedios. So pretty good Masters contest, this one. Remedios really trying to use that lockdown to keep Caol Uno pinned low down in this half guard.
Nice recovery from Lee, back to the full guard. It's a much better position for him.
He's going to have to go to work, though, if he's going to pull this first 5-minute period back towards his favour.
That's going to be a hard ask.
The crowd have been attentive all night here. Some good submissions on the prelims. Definitely some matches you should check out. Real highlight reel stuff earlier on this evening. As Caol Uno looks to step over, finds himself back in half guard again.
He's going to look to set up another Kimura grip here.
Yeah, Lee's immediately gone back to that lockdown again to try and use it.
So what a lot of people do is they know that to be Kimura, your arm needs to be at an angle. So a lot of people, they'll straighten their arm directly outwards to avoid that from happening. You can turn that into a straight armbar attempt from the same grip, but it's just not as effective as a
Yeah, it's much harder to find that fulcrum, isn't it?
Yeah, but here he is in the Kimura position.
And going to go to the back off it possibly. Well, rips
Had a
it
little
out.
sniff of it, little sniff of it.
Oh, looking briefly to wrap up the head there.
That was a arm out dart attempt there. Getting really aggressive on this far side arm.
You see, once he pins with a straight arm of his own, it's just biomechanically such a strong frame. It doesn't really take much for him to keep it there.
Yeah, but at the same time, Lee's not really worried about anything on that arm until Carl looks to come in with the second arm. So there's no point Lee looking to try and explode out of there or waste energy trying to remove that arm until there's a legitimate threat of the Kimura grip.
Well, there's the second one.
Do you see how he's trying to keep it straight? He doesn't want it up like that in an Americana. He's straightening it out to defend there.
Yeah, Remedios.
You can switch to the straight armbar.
You can see Lee's almost about to tap.
And there it is. Caol Uno takes the submission here in 5 minutes and 9 seconds.
Really nicely done by Caol Uno. It's so nice.
Methodical.
I've seen him in a lot of grappling shows recently. He's had some really, really tough fights. It's really great to see him put on such a good performance and get a win.
Yeah, excellent performance. Very controlled, very methodical. Stuck to his game plan. Beautiful.
Yeah, went hunting on that arm several times. Did find it eventually. All smiles afterwards, though. Let's take a look at some of the replays here. This, I think, is going to be the back take. Arm drag, spin, 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 and ends up on top position after knocking Remedios to the ground. Immediately tries to pass, but he spent a lot of time in half guard, and still in half guard now, actually, as he looks to attack again. Really good positional maintenance from Cal Uno to maintain. And there's the finish. Well, this will be the finish, I think. Secures the wrist grip, locks it up in an Americana. You can see as he straightens the arm, he's getting enough pressure up under that elbow, just twisting, bridging. Lee Remedios nowhere to go. Can't get his shoulder any higher off the mat. Not going to be doing a post-fight interview with Cal Uno, unfortunately, because we don't have an appropriate translator present. But we are going to raise his hand right now. Let's throw it to our MC, Bade Johnson, with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest came to a halt with 9 minutes 50 seconds left. Declaring a winner by submission with a reverse arm lock, Cal Uno.
So your winner there, Cal Uno. He goes home victorious in our third bout this evening. We've got 3 more fights coming your way. They are all actually title fights. So a lot to look forward to as the crowd salute Mr. Uno in his victory there. And here we see Nicky Ryan getting some leg drills in with training partner Gary Tonin. He's getting ready for his bout later. The main event tonight, he takes on MMA legend Uriah Faber. Nice leg transitions from the youngster there. Nicky Ryan returning after his win over Masakazu Imanari to take on Uriah Faber tonight. That's our third and final title fight this evening. 2 more coming up first, the middleweight division and the lightweight division. It is the lightweights first, as that vacant belt is on the line. Welshman Ashley Williams is going to be trying to put his brand of pressure passing and back taking to work against Danaher Death Squad standout Ethan Krellinston.
Going into this match tomorrow, I feel completely confident. I'm certain I'm going to win.
I feel comfortable at this weight, you know. I'm happy to be challenging the 70 kilo belt.
I really feel like my preparation has allowed me to find the submission in this match.
Ethan's a good dude. He's going to bring the match to me. which I feel is going to bring the best out of me. At this level, I believe that any guy on this given day can take a match.
I don't know too much about Ash. His past matches, he's definitely good, but I really feel like I have what it takes to submit him.
I believe I'm aware of what he's going to attempt to do, and if he does that, I think I'm in for a bad day at the office. I definitely want to go for that fight tonight. You know, like I feel I'm an exciting fighter. If Ethan's an exciting fighter, so some mad scrambles maybe. But I definitely am looking to come out on top in this one.
Considering what Ash is good at and what I'm good at, I think I'll be able to take him down, pass his guard, take his back, and rear naked choke him.
Tail of the tape for this bout. Ash Williams, 26 years old, from Wales, representing Chris Rees Academy, taking on the TriStar and Henzo Gracie product, Ethan Krellinston.
Polaris 10 on UFC Fight Pass. Now set for championship action. 15 minutes no-gi contest for the Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu lightweight title. The first challenger at 70.1 kilograms, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt from Wales. And fighting out of Chris Rees Academy, Ash Williams.
So Ash Williams returns to Polaris. Appeared a couple of times here on the show before. Beat Masakazu Imanari in the opening part of the featherweight tournament, and then unfortunately had to pull out with an injury. He's actually had about 9 months off with an injury. Of course, before he took that time off, his last match was against Danaher Death Squad member Frank Rosenthal, who he beat with a passer during Golden Score. So pretty familiar with the style of some of the guys from the blue basement is Ash Williams. He was the youngest person ever to be awarded their black belt at the time in the UK. And he's really been competing consistently all over the world from that point on. One of the best adult black belts that the UK has got knocking around at the moment.
And now, your second challenger for the title at 68.7 kilograms, a Polaris veteran from Canada, and fighting out of TriStar and Renzo Gracie, presenting Ethan Krellinston.
So Ethan Krellinston, returning from his first appearance on Polaris, was actually not that long ago at Polaris 9, where he took out Tom Halpin. They may, of course, meet each other back at the ADCCs in September, as they both qualified for that. So Ethan Krellinston, representing TriStar and Danaher Death Squad. Very, very dangerous wherever it is. His back takes off his leg entanglements are particularly dangerous. But guys, we were discussing this a lot in the run-up to this. It's one of those really fun, even contests, but we are all in agreement, I hope I don't put our foot in our collective mouths when I say this, that Ethan Krellinston's probably going to play from the bottom here, with Ash Williams looking to pass from top.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ethan try and take him down and play top position. I think Ethan's got a really good, well-rounded game.
Dan's smiling because he's changed his tune a little bit here.
No, I think that he can play from anywhere.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's going to run out and butt scoot and pull guard straight away.
No, I mean, look, both these guys are showing a lot of confidence coming to this one. I did find it interesting, Ash Williams acutely aware that if Ethan Krellinston finds a way to his back, he's going to be in a really troublesome spot. But, you know, Ash Williams, I think you can count on one hand the number of times he's had his back taken, so...
Yeah, Ash is really, really scrambly. He's very, very good in those exchanges when there isn't a static position. Very, very hard to submit, very hard to hold down, very hard to pin, but he's going up probably against one of his hardest opponents yet.
Yeah, and he looked to shoot, and then a reshot was what earned him that top position, but I think they're going to go back to the feet. Ethan Krellinston coming off a fantastic 10-day camp over in the US with the likes of Craig Jones, Edwin Najmi, Braulio Estima, just amazing training partners he's had in the immediate run-up into this contest.
Yeah, that was a good little wrestling exchange, takedown and then counter takedown as well. So looks like both guys can get each other to the ground.
Yeah, Ash looked super comfortable in that first exchange.
I'm really happy to see this play out as a bit of a wrestling match, to be honest, to begin with. Crelinsten going searching from a long way out, but not able to connect the hands. That is a heavy sprawl, though.
But Ash immediately countered and came back up and shot in again, which is a good tactic.
I mean, look, it's easy to discount the wrestling of Ash Williams, but he's got teammates like Brett, UFC fighter Brett Johns, who's training with every single day, who's shown phenomenal wrestling, particularly wall wrestling, but obviously, free movement phase wrestling as well.
Ash really likes the arm drag and arm drag to single leg options from here, so expect to see him work in that. You can see the wrist control on the inside. He's looking to take that arm drag, but...
Yeah, and Williams has faced a lot of very high-level competitors. Took Gio Martinez to a decision at one of his 2 EBI appearances, beat Masakazu Imanari, and got in some deep leg entanglements with him as well. Crelinsten did a good job of off-balancing him back, though. Is that going to allow him the leg entry?
Yeah, the big difference between Imanari's leg lock game and and Ethan's leg lock game is that Imanari plays an old style of leg locks. It's a simple style. It's a grab and rip essentially, and he's one of the best in the world at it. But it's going to be a very, very different approach that Ethan's going to be taking. Really shut him down and systematically work through those leg locks until something sticks.
See what Williams is doing here. He's trying to get his pressure pass game going inside the constant inversions of Ethan Crelinsten.
So far, Ash looking super comfortable on top here.
Yeah, he's looking great, in all honesty. He's doing a fantastic job of shutting down those entries that Crelinsten's putting out there.
The other thing is, I've got to say, I don't really think either of these guys is going to get tired. They can legitimately keep this pace up for the full 15 minutes.
Classic small people.
No, they're both phenomenally well conditioned, and I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them both go through matches of that length at this kind of pace repeatedly. So moving in, 12 minutes left here. We're through the first 3. Ash Williams looking to staple that leg down and pass on top.
Yeah, Ash is really bringing the match to Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sit back and let someone play their game, can you? You got to really try.
People make that mistake.
Put your foot forward. So heavy pass, and Ash Williams finds his way. Yeah, looks to regard possibly quickly.
He's in a great position. He's got the head and arm.
Oh, and he's going to lock Ethan Crelinsten down. Inside control, is he?
Can jump over,
bridging.
Yeah, he can jump over to the back. He can go to the arm, trying a lot of attacks that he can do from there.
That is excellent work from Ash Williams. He's going to put points on the board for him for sure.
Yeah, nice almost catching that guard pass IBJJF. That would have scored him an advantage, but really nice guard regain from Ethan there every time, getting that knee
and all this is going to give him confidence as well. He's shutting Ethan's game down. He's putting him in deep positions too.
Yeah, straight back to the head and arm control, driving that knee through. I know that one of the things that Ash Williams really likes to do, he likes to put himself partially back inside the guard to stop the full guard retention, and then he'll repass off of that. It's a fantastic little sequence he does, but obviously sometimes it does allow his opponent to fully re-guard. Through the first 4 minutes, and Ash Williams really powering forward with the knee slices here.
Yeah, I think you have to give the first round so far to Ash Williams. Very aggressive and effective guard passing attempts here.
Yeah, very good.
He doesn't look like he's coming off a 9-month injury layoff, does he?
He doesn't, but Ethan does get almost a little bit too easy a sweep there. I wonder whether Ash was actually thinking, you know what, this is a real hard guard to pass. I'm going to go onto my back and see what I can do from here.
Yeah, I mean, that could also be a sign that he's getting a little tired, though. This often happens. People get a little bit tired.
What part attempt here?
Good scramble back on top. And you know what? As we see out this first 5-minute period, it's a lot for the judges to decide this evening. Our judges, Matt side, David Anuma, Neil Williams, and of course, UFC analyst Dan Hardy is going to be Matt side this evening, making all of the decisions. Through the first 5, they have got to make that decision.
Yeah, so far I'm giving the first round to Ash Williams, if I'm honest with you. A really nice, something that a lot of people don't do, which is so effective, which is attack the omoplata. If you're not going to get the sub off of it, which is really low percentage, use it to sweep the person, you get the back on top.
We're so used to seeing the leg entanglements now used to just sweep to come back on top as well. Ash Williams looking for an outside heel hook.
Absolutely no stress on the face of Ethan there.
No, and Williams has got to be careful here.
This has given Ethan the entanglement that he wanted, that maybe he can use and start getting in deeper and deeper.
Yeah, we've said this before tonight. To go for a leg lock, you have to give a leg lock. And then it comes down to who's better. And again, Ash is a world-class grappler, but Ethan has been training with some of the best leg lockers in the world every single day.
Yeah, I mean, Ash tried to use that leg entanglement to go to the leg drag, which is good. If someone goes to that outside Ash, it's a strong way to go for it.
It's interesting that Williams is now opting to play entirely from the back here. He had a chance to stand back up. It's Krellinsson looking for the knee cut now. We see a shot of Gary Tonin in the corner.
Far side underhook there means that he could have potentially gone straight for an armbar on the far side, but Ash able to frame and get the legs back on the inside here. I think what you said earlier, Tom, which is Ash might be getting a little bit tired, way less output from underneath than from on top if you're aggressively passing, so I think that might be something to do with it.
I mean, Ash is doing a good job of combining everything, though. He's coming up and going straight to passing, you know, he's using his submission.
What a crazy leg entanglement
here at the same time.
Ethan Krellinsson. It's a heel hook shootout here. As outside heel hooks, can't quite tell what Krellinsson's got. Yeah, both outside.
Absolutely no stress on the face of Ash Williams.
Well, I mean, you know, against Masakazu Imanari, he let his foot break. he really did.
Let's not beat around the bush here.
Imanari did as well. I mean, I know they both took substantial pops to their ankles in that bout.
Yeah,
I think from straight footlocks as well, wasn't it? Or was it toe hold?
There was definitely a straight footlock moment for sure.
Some cranking on the feet regardless.
8:19 left. Josh Palmer, Tom Barlow, and Dan Strauss bringing you the action here from Polaris 10. Plenty for you guys to tweet about. Hashtag Polaris 10 on social media. Let us know what you think of the action. It is a scrambly 7 minutes we've had so far.
Here we're in the 50-50. It can be a frustrating position at times.
Well, not so much with the inside heel hooks available, though, I would figure. And this is...
Ethan looks like he's sitting through. Potentially could have gone for a knee bar there, but Ash doing a really good job of kind of dominating the entanglements at the moment. But
another shot of Gary Tonin in the corner of Ethan Krellinsson. You can actually hear the voice of Chris Reese, Ash Williams' coach, getting some instructions out for him.
Ethan's in a great position now for leg entanglements.
Oh, and he's got a good bite there, but Williams able to shuck that heel off.
Yeah, Ash is very reactive with the legs. Straight ankle lock attempt here.
I'm surprised Williams hasn't tried to come up a bit more off this. He's trying to find his way up into a leg drag now, but...
Well, Ethan's been doing a good job of just shutting down the leg drag as he comes up and stopping him getting the pressure down on the hips.
Oh, can Williams find a route to the back if he can bring that knee out more?
Yeah, he can chase it around if he can get that heel underneath and pull his way all the way around towards Krellinsson's back.
Well, some flexibility needed by Ash Williams here as his leg is completely tied up in 50-50 and he's sitting all his weight forward.
You know, one of the big things that Ash is doing very well is he's giving Ethan absolutely zero sniff of his back. You know, that's really Ethan's bread and butter. He wants to get to the back position, and Ash is showing him absolutely none of it.
Good frame on the inside with that knee from Krellinsson. He's got feet on the hips now, try and create some distance, looking to find his way to a cross Ashy, but comes up on top now. Williams butterfly guard here.
Man, how do you score this so far?
I mean, I was thinking the same thing. This second period, I mean, you know, it's very tough.
I'd say I'd give the second round so far to Ethan, just a little bit more aggressive on the legs.
And coming up on top a bit more at the moment. Yeah. Still a minute to go, though, so something certainly could happen.
Right now, it's the entire match is incredibly close.
Yeah, incredibly fast-paced as well.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired just watching this, to be honest.
So Krellinsson looking for a knee cut here. I know that Ash Williams is a big fan of the half guard with the single butterfly hook. But Krellinsson is pressuring up top here.
Yeah, very nice pass. Switching the hips, come over the top.
Has Ash Williams got the explosiveness in him? Well, he has. He regards, and he inverts now. Inverted triangle.
Gave it up. Looks like he's going back towards the legs. Ethan's just keeping that pressure down.
Yeah, Williams has got to come up, and oh look, hides his back quickly. Hides it quick.
I feel like Ash could sense Ethan was staring at his back for a split second there.
Right, so in all seriousness, 22 seconds left in this 5-minute period. I'm with you now. I think Ethan Krellinsson is going to win this second period.
I think it's one apiece.
Got the first, it's one apiece. We're going in the final 5 with everything to play for here.
I think Ash has just slowed down a little bit, though, judging by the last
Ethan into mount now. Now, with the gi, a really great position to attack. No gi, really not a great position to attack from, but a great position to look to take the back, and that's exactly what he's going to try.
Triangle
attempt from here, but so slippery. We're 10 minutes into a fast-paced match.
Inside position for Ash Williams. Well, no, retracts the leg out.
A real shame to see the mount position given up that easily.
I mean, you know, Krellinsson has a fantastic triangle game. A lot of it is off the back attacks as well.
Yeah. Krellinsson's looking for that back again. He's trying to come up into it. Trying to keep rolling through with that crab ride position.
Yeah, he's riding that shin inside on the back of the knee.
You can see he's trying to pull it around and then feed that hook in.
Another sniff of the back, almost there. Ash doing a great job of getting his back to the mat.
Yeah, he's trying to hide his back here, but Krallinsson can't quite get the hips up, and you see some frustration.
I was just about to say that. You can see the frustration on Ethan's face.
Yeah, very, very unhappy with himself there, but the crowd giving them a round of applause and some blood. We've got a cut on the face of Ash Williams, and you know what? Does this play into the hands of Ash Williams? Because he's going to get a bit of a rest here while we clean this cut up.
Absolutely.
The momentum definitely seems to be shifting towards Ethan. I think he's been a little bit more controlled in his output. I think Ash was so aggressive in the first round. He definitely started to slow down a little bit. So this could be a second win for Ash Williams.
Yeah,
with it all to play for as well.
I agree. I think you've got 1 round apiece at the moment, and now Ash is getting a break before the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're really not far into the last 5 minutes either. I think we've still got a good 4 on the clock to go.
All to play for.
Well, let us know how you think this is going at home. We're going to see a replay of what possibly caused that cut, an errant foot or knee possibly. Maybe a toenail in the eye. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it could have been a slicing toenail on the foot as it came down. Completely unintentional. Oh yeah, immediately opens up a cut under the eye.
Thank God.
Well, yeah, at least blood's not going to flow into the eye, so...
Put a bit of tape on it and we'll carry on. Okay?
It's going to be interesting how they restart this as well, because they were in a pretty neutral position.
I mean, you might just have to go... see if they go back to standing or not, but... So, look, cuts are a very uncommon thing to happen in grappling, especially facial cuts. So, the med team are going to try and deal with this as swiftly as they can, but I do feel like we might actually get a slightly extended period of...
Well, I think they're going to put a plaster on it, though. I'm not sure how much good that's going to be.
It's going to go old school Nelly style.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see how long that stays on.
Yeah, that's not going to stay on.
Just taking a good look at himself.
That's not going to stay on.
Yeah,
they need a plaster.
You rub
a bit of tape.
You rub a bicep against that, it's coming straight off. So Ash Williams playing to the crowd. We've got all to play for here. Final period is underway. Ethan Krallinsson taking on Ash Williams in our lightweight title bout at Polaris 10, live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass from the Lighthouse in Poole, Dorset.
You have to wonder how aware the athletes are of what the score is going to be looking like. Do they think that they're one apiece? Is that going to play into their...
It's tough, isn't it? Because it is a unique rule set. There really isn't many people who score like this.
Excellent takedown from Ash. Really nice.
Krallinsson shoots the triangle immediately. He's got around the hips. Can he find a way past the legs? Oh,
he could be pulling Ash into a triangle here.
Yeah, that underhook, if he can pull that arm through, and a lovely staple from Williams to defend the triangle. Immediately off balancing backwards from Krallinsson. It's those combined directional attacks that are amazing.
However, Ash does now have the takedown at the start of this round.
Yeah, toe hold attempt from Ash Williams doesn't seem too bothered.
He's not bothered, but the judges are going to be bothered about that.
And it's going to put pain on it, through, and damage through it as well.
At this point of the fight, when we believe that there's...
Submission attack, submission attack, submission attack.
When we believe that there's a 1 round apiece, every single movement you make is going to change the outcome of this match. That takedown from Ash when they restarted could have put it in his favor. That footlock attempt, even if it was nowhere near, the judges are going to see that and they're going to count that potentially above a takedown. Very, very close at the moment.
So we're in 50-50, but an underhook on the leg for Ash Williams. Krallinsson looking to sit and roll through.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to maybe go for that knee bar.
Yeah, he's going to have to rotate the hips all the way around to do that. Krallinsson playing on top here. Williams, what's he going to do from here? Let's see, inverting underneath. Such a tricky entanglement. And this is what it's going to come down to, those half bites on the footlocks. Yeah. We already know from some of the judging earlier tonight that the judges are really counting on submission attempts over everything else.
Yeah. Ethan looks like he's trying to get a bite on that heel. Ash's legs are pretty tied up in there.
Yeah, Ash, I spoke to him earlier. He was very confident that he wasn't going to get heel hooked, but it's certainly not something you want to play around with in 2 minutes left here. Needs some heavy passing. Can't imagine how slippery they are either.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, Ethan really needs a sweep, some sort of positional dominance, some sort of transition in his favor.
Ash is staying very heavy, just trying to base out. Ethan's locked around those.
We could finally see our back take.
First back take.
Close.
This is big. If he can secure that back position or a mount position.
Oh, he blocks it.
Ash has got out. Excellent.
He's got to look to pass immediately. Straight back in, knee inside.
I would hate to be a judge right now.
But you know, that was attacking work by Krelliston. It was great defense, but he was put on the back foot by Krelliston, who goes back into 50-50 here. Wow.
This is real tight. There is 1 minute left in this match, and it is all to play for.
I think post-fight interview, we might have to have a word with both of these guys, see what they're thinking. But
incredible pace, dynamic match.
We're through 14 minutes here.
Excellent match.
Okay, this is interesting. So far, we've seen Ash way more successful with the takedowns. If he can put Ethan on his back, that's going to play a lot into the decision in this final round.
Big shot. 38 seconds left. I think a big takedown could do it. Williams goes searching on the single.
Ash has to keep moving.
He gives up.
Again, a guard pass here can secure it. This is a great position. Head being pushed on the outside.
Oh, and a sweep.
Ash gets the sweep of it.
Pass off this as well.
He's almost passed. Can he stay in this body lock? Krelliston looking to regard. Through into the final 10.
I mean, Ash has managed to get back up on top into a good position.
Oh, and he goes for an outside heel hook here at the end, slips off. Timer is ticking down, and we go the distance in our lightweight title fight. Ash Williams and Ethan Krelliston.
What a match.
Whoever wins, the crowd need to get on their feet for this one.
That was an amazing fight, such high pace.
Unbelievable.
I am so glad that I'm not a judge for this match.
Yeah, we had a couple of great contenders for Fight of the Night earlier, but I mean, what can you say about that? That was technical scramble positioning of the highest order. I really don't know which way this is going.
Yeah, that could easily go either way. Both guys had excellent passages of play.
I'd say just make them go again.
Yeah, let's do another round.
Make them go again.
Let's do another 5.
Another 5, let's do it.
Oh, I think Ethan looks like he wants a golden score. Look, you guys talk us through some of the replays when they come up now. I'm going to go get ready to talk to these guys.
Okay, let's have a look at what's going on here. This was a lovely takedown from Ash Williams.
Yeah, this is one of the later takedown attempts. It was very, very nice.
Yeah, that was straight after the
facial cut restart.
The Nelly plaster was placed on.
This is a lovely little back transition from Ethan as well, trying to chase his way around. Ash does a good job of just keeping moving.
We always knew that Ethan's game plan was to take the back, and that was the closest he got to doing it. For a second here, almost looks like he gets the mount. Doesn't happen. A late sit back and attempt on the heel hook, but again, nothing there. Really is an incredibly close match. No idea which way this is going.
You can just see at the end of this just how tired both guys are. They literally left everything on the mat.
Awesome match.
Really fantastic match. Let's pass it over to our announcer for the decision.
Sponsoring the lightweight championship is Tyrone Sullivan from our sponsor, Canavape. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this contest goes to distance, 15 minutes, and we go to the decision, declaring your winner and your new Polaris lightweight champion by unanimous decision, Ash Williams.
Ash, you were this happy when you took your decision win over Imanari. How happy are you now you're the Polaris lightweight champion?
I don't know, it's so hard to say. Been a real tough camp. After Imanari, I'd won my match, and then I found out a disc bulge in my neck, torn ligament in my wrist, so I was out for 9 months. 5 weeks ago, I got the call, do you want to fight Ethan Krallenstein? One of the guys is the best in the world. And I got to be honest, that match, if that's not fight of the night, I don't know what you think is. Ethan came out, man, and put on a brilliant display. Super, super good attacks. I'm going to have to watch it back because I'm not overly convinced, especially unanimous, considering my last match was split. But I had a very specific game plan. Unfortunately, I gassed pretty hard, and then Ethan killed me for the second 5. I thought I was just crushed to the floor, man, incredible. And in the third 5, I had to try and come back and get back to my game plan. Staying on top, not letting him take my back. But I couldn't be happier, man. And if Ethan wants a rematch, he totally deserves it. 100%. I can't take that from him. He's brilliant, and I got nothing much to say about him, you know.
How hard is it to prepare for a match that you know is going to go at an incredibly fast pace like that? Because the output from you guys was unreal.
I don't ever think cardio is my problem. I spar a load. I spar fresh patterns back-to-back all the time. I never think that's the issue. The issue for me is finding the finish, you know, getting that close. When I come to Polaris, I'm just like, oh, here goes another 15 minutes, you know. I just know it's going to go that time. But I just got to thank my team, my coaches, Tatami. I just couldn't do anything without you. And to come back after that much time off and get this, I just can't put that into words, man. I really feel like big things are coming from me, and this is just the beginning.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you defend that belt. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for your lightweight champion, Ash Williams. And I'm going to grab a very quick word with our runner-up, Ethan Krallenstein. Ethan, give us your thoughts on that bout, because it was fast-paced, back and forwards, and really, commentary booth, we didn't know which way it was going.
Yeah, neither did I. First off, congratulations to Ash. That was a sick performance. Came out swinging. You know, we went at each other the entire match. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the match and see, you know, what I think. I don't remember. It could have gone either way, just like you said. Yeah, that's about it. Great show. Thank you all for coming. It's really, I love these shows. I'll always be back every time, you know. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you here again. Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up, Ethan Krallenstein. Ash Williams walks away victorious as the lightweight champion. Now, on ordinary shows, you might get one title fight. You've got 2 more coming your way on Polaris 10. The middleweight strap is on the line next. It's going to be the first title defense for Craig Jones as he takes on Marcela Garcia, prodigy Mateus Lutis. There's a shot of Uriah Faber, who's in the main event in just 2 fights' time. He's warming up his wrestling, I believe, with Cal Uno there, is it? Yeah, warming up his wrestling with Cal Uno, perhaps from a little bit earlier tonight. It's going to be interesting to see if he gets a chance to use that wrestling against someone like Nicky Ryan, who we can probably assume is going to come out and sit to guard very quickly, as he has done in almost every match he's had on Polaris so far. But coming up, it is the middleweight belt. Marcelo Garcia, brown belt. Mateus Lutis, absolute bulldog of a human being when it comes to passing that guard. He is taking on the defending champion, Australian Craig Jones. Craig Jones won this belt beating Jake Shields. Stay tuned, that's coming up shortly.
I sort of see him as like a mini Mateus Diniz, and I hope his strength is less than Mateus Diniz too, in that respect.
Feeling good about it, feeling prepared. Just made weight, everything's going very nice.
I think it'll be a tough match. Mateus Lutz is pretty quick, but hopefully being the bigger grappler, hopefully I can use my weight against his strength. I think he's used to being the stronger guy in his weight division.
It's a super fight. I feel if you don't do anything special, you're doing wrong. The super means super. You have to do super preparation. We both want to win. I don't think he's come all the way here to don't win. And you guys, believe me, I didn't come here to just do like one fight and whatever happens, happens. We both got to go for the win.
I think I'll take his back, get the choke in this one.
As soon as you touch your hands, we're the same. And I just feel both have the desire to win. And what's going to happen is going to be two guys fighting really hard to become the victor.
Tail of the tape for this one, Mateus Lutz, originally from Brazil, now making his home at Marcelo Garcia Academy in New York City. Takes on the Australian Craig Jones, representing Absolute MMA and Renzo Gracie NYC.
Live on UFC Fight Pass from Poole, Dorset. Polaris 10, now set for 15 minutes, no-gi contest for the middleweight title. The challenger first, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt at 84.3 kilograms from Brazil, and fighting out of Alliance Marcelo Garcia, Mateus Lutz.
So Mateus Lutz storms his way down to the mat. Brown belt under Marcelo Garcia. Won Worlds and no-gi Worlds as a purple belt. Competing a lot around North America. Does often actually compete in the Absolute division as well, I think. Very well-rounded, very aggressive, a lot of cardio. Has really been fighting a lot of top names over the last 18 months or so. Had a couple of tough performances recently, but he's got one more up tonight as he faces Craig Jones here this evening.
And now, your champion, set to make his way down to the mat, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt at 83.2 kilograms from Australia, and fighting out of Absolute and Renzo Gracie Academy, presenting your defending middleweight champion, Craig Jones.
Craig Jones defending his middleweight belt. He took this with a very fast heel hook win over Jake Shields some time ago at a Polaris event in London. Since then he's been training all over the place, a lot of time in New York with the guys at the Danaher Death Squad. You see Ethan Krellinson and Jeremy Skinner, who competed in the main event of our prelims on the card tonight. They're in his corner this evening. We did actually also see him at Polaris 8. He won the light heavyweight belt by beating Keenan Cornelius. And you know what? We thought this weight cut was going to be really tough for him to get back down to 185. But, you know, in the 10 days before, he got about 20, 21 pounds and rocked up at the weigh-ins, made weight. And I haven't really seen him do anything other than eat since.
Yeah. Craig cuts weight a lot for grappling matches. I've seen him compete on quintet at 90-something kilos, cut down to 85 kilos 2 days later, whilst flying across the entire world to get to Kasai. So he is he's a seasoned vet when it comes to doing that.
Yeah, it's always interesting. I always wonder how the long flights affect the weight cuts. And, you know, Craig Jones managed to pull it off pretty easily. But so did Mateus Lutis. You know, I think he was rocking around about 205 when he got here and dropped to 185. So
they're probably similar weight, to be honest.
A lot of mass.
Should have just agreed to do this at 205.
Bit of a height advantage for Craig Jones, though. He is in the black spats and shorts, white shorts for Mateus Lutis.
This is going to be interesting now. I don't expect either grappler to pull guard. I think they're going to really work on their wrestling, see who can put the other one on the back.
Well, Lutis with the single here, head on the inside, looks to shuck to the back. Jones stops him with the overhook.
Mateus Lutis always comes out very, very aggressive, which is great for these kind of matches.
I mean, that is one thing that the height disadvantage is better for. It's a bit quicker to get underneath your opponent. Let's see. We know Jones has got some good judo.
Yeah, he likes to throw off the
well.
clinch, so...
Let's see. They're going to fight the grip.
So far, Mateus picking up that leg twice now in pretty rapid succession. Not able to finish it, but still.
Nice tactic to bring him back into the mat as well with the single leg so he can complete it.
I know Mateus Lutis heading straight back to the US after this and straight over to California for the World Championships next weekend. Again, looking to go to the back of Jones.
Yeah, I think Craig's looking for that throw.
Yeah, you see every time that Craig Jones tries the foot sweep and just grabs that leg and picks up the single.
I've seen him hit huge Haragoshis off overhooks in defense to singles and back take attempts. So Lutis going to have to be a little bit wary. But they're fighting for inside position here, outside foot trip attempt.
Yeah, Craig does have this wrap now that he could use to throw.
Yeah, he's trying to stay attached to Lutis, who really frames and pushes off the face, and just acknowledging the fingers getting in the way a bit there. Josh Palmer, Tom Barlow and Dan Strauss bringing you the action this evening. One more bout coming your way in the featherweight division. Jones looking to play on the feet here, along with Lutis, who again looks for that single. And we discussed this in one of the earlier matches, guys. These kind of tentative feeling out processes that take several minutes. Someone still has to win that 5-minute period.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think undoubtedly right now, Mateus is up, picking up the leg on 2 occasions, not quite managing to get the takedown, but I'd say that he's been a little bit more successful so far in the stand-up.
Yeah, he's definitely doing the more positive work.
12:30 left on the clock here.
This is such a contrast to our last fight, which we barely could get a word in without something else happening.
Yeah, in case you just tuned in, you just missed a possible match of the night for Ethan Cranston taking on Ash Williams for the lightweight title, as Lutis looks to break the grip and go on that leg again. Very loose Russian tie for Jones briefly.
Yeah, Mateus a lot less active in the second half of this first round than he was in the first half.
Again, good use of the bounds, though, or out of bounds to reset the position.
Yeah, he's being smart when he feels like it's not going his way. Very happy to go right towards the edge and be restarted in the middle.
Yeah, Mateus Lutis, when he gets his momentum going, and he is necessary, he's a little bit of a slow starter occasionally, but when he gets his momentum going, it's very hard to stop the onslaught once he feels he can get the guard passing going, get the positional game going.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good strategy from Craig to really slow the match down, play it at his pace, which is a little bit slower than Mateus's. He wants to make it a bit more of a grind.
Lutis with that inside head position, looking for a trip of his own.
We're through the first 4 here. Guys, at the moment you feel Craig has to initiate a takedown attempt from here?
Yeah.
I feel like anything positive from either competitor could really like cinch up the round.
Yeah, literally anything that's a good sequence.
Interesting.
Oh, Jones sits to guard.
Interesting. He has 30 seconds to make a good attempt on something, and he could secure this round.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a position we see Craig Jones in so much, though. This Z guard.
But he's got to do it quick if he wants to take this first round.
Yeah, I've been wondering how much Mateus Lutis is going to engage in this position. You know, is he going to try and free his legs up a bit to get around the outside? Is he going to sit inside that Z guard?
Yeah, this is just a danger zone when it comes to Craig Jones. You've got to be so careful for him to come underneath and start working those leg entanglements, some of the best in the world.
Oh, Lutis looking for an steamer lock briefly.
Yeah, he's using a very nice little like knee cut just to slice his leg through and get out of that Z guard, which is very useful against Craig Jones.
I'd have to give the first round to Mateus based on literally the first 60 seconds with 2 pickups of the leg.
I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's a quirk of the scoring, and that you can nick around and someone can win around dominantly. And most of the time, you know, they're pretty much going to be scored 10-9 the same way. So it makes it a lot more tactical.
There's no option of scoring a 10-8.
Well, there you go. That's your answer.
That I'm aware of. I think it's just 1 point for a win of the round.
So it really does play into a very tactical game, and of course it's a mechanism to try and push the pace a lot more. But you know, it's up to the competitors to embrace that.
Yeah.
Another steamer lock attempt.
Well, that looks a nasty angle.
Does look deep. Jones is going to look to invert, go underneath here.
Frantically escaping there.
And that's what I expect Lutis to do. As soon as there's a hint of a leg, I expect him to disengage, rip out,
and run. Run until he's free of that position, and then re-enter on his terms.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great tactic to have, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But I'd say from the start of this second period, Mateus Lutis looks to be on the top.
Okay, Craig is in a very comfortable position now. The heel hook's on.
Oh, heel just slips out. Good attack for him, though.
Craig uses it to take top position, so that whole first 5 minutes, he didn't want to sit down. He really wanted to try and get Mateus in his back. He felt he was a lot more comfortable on top of Mateus. Finally, he manages to sit down, use the leg lock attack to get the sweep, which so many people don't do, and now he's in a position where he's a lot more comfortable.
It was a crazy sweep. I mean, he triangled both legs, it looked like, in order to enter onto that heel hook.
And Mateus does a great job of getting back to his feet. He's playing on his terms now.
Let's see if Jones pulls guard quickly here. And I've got to say, am I right in thinking Jones was playing on his left side, which is not the way he usually plays his Z-guard? Am I right in thinking that?
No, I think most of the time he plays on his left side.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, me neither. I can't chime in on that.
Yeah, because the entry from Jake Shields was the other side across to the far leg, so...
I imagine Craig can probably leg block you from wherever the hell he wants. So I don't think it matters.
Can he do it to Mateus Lutis, though? That's what he's got 7 minutes and 26 seconds to find out.
Nice.
So Z-guard for Jones here, 7 minutes and 15 seconds left. Firmly up in this second period, it has to be said. Referee Ed Ingemel's overseeing the action. Second referee Nick Brooks just offering an extra pair of eyes.
It'll be interesting to see how that heel hook attempt of Craig Jones changes Mateus Lutis' attack strategy. He seems to be doing the same thing again.
So underhook looks to slide across. So good at pulling those legs in together. And he's through on it. Oh, Lutis easily disengages, though.
Yeah, really good leg awareness there. Whenever there was almost a bite from Craig Jones, he manages to get the foot on the arse, kick away, pull that leg out, and re-engage on his own terms.
And guys are getting so good at controlling the end, like holding onto the foot, controlling the end of that lever, and really stopping the entanglement, even getting started.
Yeah, so you know, Tom, you were just asking about, is he going to change his passing strategy here? What it looked like he was doing is kind of allowing Craig to re-enter almost for that deep half position, and then when he opened the leg to look to roll under for the leg lock, trying to back step out with the leg that is on the inside. Didn't quite work, but at the same time, you know, the leg attack didn't work for Craig there. He's just got such a difficult and dangerous guard to pass. So many people struggle with this.
Yeah, it's in stark contrast to his last match we saw in Polaris where he beat Keenan Cornelius. It was Craig Jones trying to pass Cornelius' guard.
Yeah, he's looking for that Karatera footlock now.
Yeah, I think simply now.
Oh, there it is.
He got this against Boogeyman at Quintet, but a lot longer legs than the stocky, powerful legs of Mateus Lutz.
Yeah, Mateus Lutz has got like tree trunks for legs.
Yeah. Craig Jones pummeling back on inside again. Lutus stepping around. I'd like to see Lutus try and up the pace on his passing attempts a little bit more. He's so good when he gets the aggression and the pace going. But we're about to see out that second 5-minute period here, and I think it's very definitely going to go to Craig Jones.
Yeah, I think just like the last title match, we have one round apiece, and it all depends on what happens in the next 5 minutes.
Well, let's see if the corners relay that information to the mat. There you see the corner of Craig Jones. So Jones centers himself back in the mat. Touch of hands again. He looks to go back to his Z-guard. Quick bit of off balancing. Lutz is trying to run all the way around the outside.
Yeah, I think at this point a good strategy for Craig would be to try and get that leg entanglement, but be very willing to come on top and use the leg attack to pass the guard. Try and get Mateus in his back and work a slightly different approach than what's happened in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I really feel like Mateus needs to up the pace a little bit. He's not being very positive in what he's doing.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can kind of come in, disengage, go out, come back in, and not have the judges start looking negatively upon it.
Do you know what? It's such a difficult riddle to solve. Craig Jones has such a good, but not only, you know, you can have a guard that's very good at retaining and regaining and a very hard guard to pass, and you can be very dangerous at the leg locks. When you have someone that are both of those things, you just have a very uncomfortable place to exist.
Yeah, you see it with guys like Eddie Cummings, don't you? It's hard to get upset with people who have to play a slightly more passive, disengaging game, because at the end of the day, you can't walk straight into it.
He's going to get his leg ripped off.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, Craig Jones has been playing this type of guard for many, many years. You know, he was triangling people with a back as a purple belt, right?
Yeah.
This is maybe the first time that Mateus Lutz has encountered someone with such a high-level Z-guard as Craig Jones, or the way that he plays it. And that's an awkward result to solve on the fly.
I think Craig Jones actually won No-Gi Worlds as a purple belt in 2015, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, bit of inverted guard possibly quickly from Jones.
You know, 3 minutes left in this match. I think it's all to play for in this final round. Any big moves, any big
quicker steam lock
beats
again
at this
from
point.
Lutus. Jones regards after Lutus spools the leg and a little bit of a shake of the head from Lutus there.
Frustration there.
Exactly.
That was probably, you know, one of the closest. It wasn't close, but one of the closest.
Wasn't close,
he
but
got
it was
to get
the
a guard
closest,
pass.
yeah.
See Mateus just backing out again when Craig tries to go across.
This is interesting because this could play into Craig's favor if he can make this work. But if he gets taken down by Mateus, then that's probably going to put him behind on the scorecard.
He can't be lazy here, and he can't be flippant about this position either. So Lutus framing on the face there. It's Jones with the inside collar control. Lutus, I think he's going to look to go searching on that lead leg again.
I'd like to see both guys just really trying a little bit more to win and like consolidate it in the judges' eyes.
That's what I mean. Minute 45 left.
Finally, we get a good little clinch and right at the edge of the mat.
Do you know what, though? I'm going to say nobody's gone off the edge of the mat yet tonight.
I know. We can only hope. one and a half minutes of this and one more match.
So jumping guard pass attempt from Lutus. This really, if you're just tuning in now, this has been the story of this bout for the most part. Mateus Lutus trying to very loosely pass the guard of Craig Jones.
It looked like Craig was thinking about trying to take top position after that leg attempt there. Mateus really wise to it and just pushing him back down, keeping him with his back.
Well, I mean, that kind of movement's going to play into his favor, though. You know, he sat down, he engaged into his guard, tried to get the leg entanglement. That's all positive work from him.
Yeah, this is another really, really, really difficult title match to call. Stuff like these little
these little steamer locks that force an inversion or something to escape. But here, Jones has collected both legs now. That S-grip all the way around.
This could be it. This could be the big moment of this last round. But Mateus gets her legs out again.
So slippery. 14 minutes of competition so far. You've got to figure getting a hold of anything is going to be tough. 30 seconds on the clock here.
Craig's trying to get that Kimura grip. Just couldn't quite cinch it up.
Jones again is working. Come back. Oh, that was an opportunity for sure.
You know, these things, these little steamer lock attempts,
they count.
They're useful because they require no risk on your behalf, essentially. A takedown here could secure it. You know, it really is that close.
10 seconds left. Oh man, I feel for our judges. I really do.
Yeah,
we're going to see
some tough calls tonight.
That's it. Time is going to expire here in this middleweight title bout. Mateus Lutis versus Craig Jones. We thought it was one apiece going into the final round.
No doubt.
And that was a fairly static round. Lutis with a couple of his steamer lock attempts, very loose. Jones mostly playing the guard game and trying to threaten.
I have a feeling that they're going to give it to Craig for just being in a position where there was the option for more attack.
I think he also took it to the position he wanted to be in as well. He tried to play guard. He tried to do those attacks as well.
I'm going to abstain from making a decision.
Very wise move.
Take a look at some of the replays. You guys talk us through this. I'm going to go get ready to talk to whoever comes out on top.
So here we can see one of those attempted steamer locks from Mateus Luz.
They're just cheeky little things you can throw in there to try and sway the judges, make it look like you're going for attacks the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nasty bend on the foot, so it definitely looks like it's going to be hurting.
Realistically, absolutely nothing on Craig.
This was probably the best attack of the match. You know, he had a deep bite on it.
And you see there's a pop where that foot pops out. The foot doesn't pop, but the foot pops out of position. Very close.
Absolutely. Very, very close. And again, you see Craig Jones working onto that kind of a Kayatera footlock position here. Just can't quite cinch it up. Mateus Luz just working around that guard, trying to pass, and then forced to abandon again. Very close match.
Hate to be a judge again right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not something I want to do. This is close to the end of the fight and close to the edge of the match. Okay, let's pass over to the announcer for the official decision.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the championship belt will be Tyrone Sullivan from our sponsor, Canavate. This middleweight action goes the distance, and we go to your judges, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, and still Polaris middleweight champion, Craig Jones.
I am here with our retaining middleweight champion, Craig Jones. Craig, tough, close fight. Give us your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, very, very tough. Actually, that's the second Mateus from Marcelo Garcia's team I've had to face, and they're both equally unpleasant.
You went through the first, almost the first entire 5-minute period standing and wrestling on the feet. Bit of a change of game plan from you coming into this one?
Yeah, I was wondering if his biceps were as strong as they look, so I thought I'd test out a bit of wrestling. But obviously neither of us really having much success, so I thought I'd pull. I really thought I had a heel hook on him about halfway through, but he's a crafty man. He slipped out of that.
Yeah, you got a really good bite in the second 5-minute period of scoring. Going in towards the end of the bout there, it was getting very close. Were you conscious of how close it could be on the scorecards?
Yeah, definitely. I was wondering how they would score the first 5 and the second 5. I thought maybe the second 5 would score well because I got close to the finish. But obviously Mateus pushed the pace the entire time, so it was very, very tiring.
How was the weight cut for you coming into this one? Because, you know, you've competed at light heavyweight. This was back down at 185. You've had a good time eating since the weigh-ins, I know.
Yeah, I've been eating a fair bit. I think I was 93 kilos about a week ago. So I had to cut about 10 kilos for this one, which, yeah, that's a horrible time.
You're looking forward to coming back defending this belt again? You're going to be busy. You've got the light heavyweight belt and the middleweight belt.
Yeah, definitely going to be very busy. I was really hoping to get a Rafael Lovato match at 205. Obviously, he's facing Gegard Mousasi in Strikeforce. So depending on how
that goes, it'd be an honor to have Lovato at one of the next Polarises.
Oh man, I'd love to see that. We'll let you go celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Craig Jones. We're going to go grab a quick word with our runner-up, Matheus Lutis. Matheus, how are you feeling after that one? Disappointed, I'm sure.
Of course, everybody step up here, want to win. I'm disappointed that I lose. But at least I lose to somebody who fought against me. It was a very open match. Both of us attack. I hope everybody here love it and like it. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, everybody come here today. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Polaris. I appreciate everything.
It's been a pleasure having you, ladies and gentlemen. Your runner-up, Matheus Lutis. So join us August 31st at the Bridgewater Hall in Manchester. It's going to be Polaris 11. I cannot tell you the matches that are in the works for this one, but I know some of them. And you have to trust me when I say you will want to be joining us live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass, or if you're anywhere north in England, absolutely come and visit us at the Bridgewater Hall Saturday, August 31st. Tickets are on sale now. Matches to be announced shortly. Coming up, we've got one more bout. It is our third and final title fight in our main event. Uriah Faber, WEC champion, long-time UFC veteran, the California Kid, is taking on the Phenom, 17-year-old Nicky Ryan. Join us in a few moments and we'll wrap up Polaris 10.
He's been mainly focused on mixed martial arts, and my entire career has been focused on jiu-jitsu. So that's why overall I'm pretty confident going into this match that I'll be able to come out on top.
I love to compete. It's one of my passions. I've been a long-time athlete, of course. I love to play chess. This is kind of like chess with the human body. Just kind of took a look of what his big offenses are, being aware of them, and then worrying about my offense.
I've been specifically preparing for his style, you know, someone who plays on two knees, you know, trying to snap my head and go for guillotines.
Traditionally, when I've submitted guys in mixed martial arts, it's been chokes. It's like the sure thing bet. You can choke a guy, it doesn't matter how tough he is. he's going to either tap or he's going to pass out. You know, I'll be looking for some chokes and for a dominant position and to keep a high pace.
I think that I'll get on top of him. I think I'll pass, get to his back, and finish him.
Tail of the tape for this main event. Uriah Faber representing Team Alpha Male, the 40-year-old recently retired MMA legend, taking on the 17-year-old from Henzo Gracie, New York City, Nicky Ryan. Let's throw it over to our MC, but A. Johnson is going to introduce the fighters for the final time this evening.
Live on UFC Fight Pass from the Lighthouse in Poole, Dorset, the time now has come for your main event. Polaris 10 presents 15 minutes no-gi contest for the Polaris Professional Jiu-Jitsu Featherweight Championship. First, the challenger, introducing to the mat, a former WEC champion and UFC Hall of Famer from the US of A and fighting out of Team Alpha Male, the California Kid, Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber, the California Kid, jogging his way out to the mat. UFC Hall of Famer, 44 pro MMA bouts. He won 34 of them, 19 he won by submission. He's got a phenomenal guillotine. Won the featherweight title with the WEC, defended that 5 times. Moved down to the bantamweight division before the WEC merged with the UFC, and then had 16 bouts in the UFC against the likes of Dominic Cruz, Jens Pulver, Renan Barão, and Frankie Edgar. Finally retired in December of 2016. He's been involved in grappling matches ever since. And he is ready and fired up for this one.
And now, introducing your champion, a Polaris veteran, and from the US of A, he represents Henzo Gracie and John Danaher, presenting your defending reigning Polaris featherweight champion, Nicky Ryan.
So an evil smirk on the face of Nicky Ryan as he makes his way back to the Polaris stage. We've seen him twice before, picked up a win over Phil Harris in the opening bout of the featherweight tournament, then beat Masakazu Imanari by rear naked choke, or should I say rear naked mandible strangle in Polaris 8, and then he's come to face off in his first title defense against Uriah Faber. A bit of a hard weight cut for him on this one. At 17 years old, he's getting a bit of a growth spurt going in, and I know cutting the last few pounds here was pretty tough for him. You cannot take this young man lightly as we take a look at both the corners there. Thanks very much to Cannovate for sponsoring our main event here this evening. This bout originally was going to take place at Polaris 9, but it had to be delayed due to the birth of Uriah Faber's daughter, Callie. We hope everything's going well with her back at home, but very early on, Uriah Faber making this aggressive with strong grip breaks against Nicky Ryan. Hands to the face, very much going to make this a scrap.
Yeah, expect Uriah Faber to really take it to Nicky. He wants to get in his head a little bit. He wants to rattle him. He wants to take him out of his element. These guys have trained together before, so they both know what to expect from each other.
I actually completely forgot that happened.
Yeah. So, you know, the biggest difference you can make is really take them out of their usual frame. Don't make it just another day on the mat. Make it a competition. Really put the pressure on and get a lot of different things going through their head.
That's it. Nicky Ryan chasing Uriah Faber across the mat. We knew he was going to sit to guard early. This is really where he does most of his work. The question is, can he sweep Uriah Faber? He elevates, though. Can he find a leg through?
Yeah. Uriah's working towards the edge of the mat the whole time, though.
Oh, and Uriah's going to get a warning here.
Yeah, he's making it a dirty match. He's making it a nasty match. Look to see I imagine Nicky's going to look to elevate again with that butterfly guard and turn underneath and look in for the leg lock here.
Yeah, I mean, he got Uriah Faber high up in the air, but Uriah clamped his knees together and didn't let Nicky shoot that leg through with that inside control.
He really is rocking a glorious tan, isn't he? Just had to say that.
It's that Californian sunshine.
Yeah, I've got to get out there.
So Nicky again advancing forward. And it's amusing just how much he can put someone on the back foot by sitting down and shuffling forward. He does it to so many of his opponents. Just shows you how dangerous he is from the bottom here. But make no mistake, if he manages to knock Uriah back and he gets a chance, he will shoot and come up on his knees and try and drive through on top.
Yeah, I think actually there aren't any places that Uriah Faber is safe in this match. If he's underneath, he's going to be in a tough position for those back takes, and when he's on top, he's going to be in a tough position for entries to the leg locks.
Yeah, Nicky's tried a few times just to come up with like a knee tap off the collar tie.
You imagine that Uriah's base is going to be so strong here, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got a pretty extensive wrestling background as well. He was a two-time NCAA qualifier back in 2001 and 2002. Got a quick shot there of Gary Tone and Ethan Crellenston in the corner of Nicky Ryan.
Yeah, you can see just how thick Uriah Faber's core is as well. It's very solid. That seems like years of wrestling.
Yeah, Uriah Faber 2 UFC Sub of the Night awards and holds the records for most submissions, most wins and most finishes in UFC bantamweight history.
Uriah's really just trying to rough Nicky up at this point. Just hand on the neck, pulling down on the head,
I was wondering
pushing on the chest.
If he was going to get a snap down at any point and actually get a chance to enter a guillotine. I don't know if he will.
I think it will be super dangerous.
Yeah, if he does.
Because it's going to give Nicky the opportunity to come up on the leg.
Yeah, I mean, Uriah's got a fantastic squeeze. I mean, all those alpha male guys do. They practice it a lot, and it blends in really well with their style of like grappling.
Yeah, you see, so you heard Gary Tonin suggesting perhaps a little bit of knee wrestling to then use that to enter the legs, and there you see it, coming up to the knee just to wrestle for a moment in order to go back down underneath.
Yeah.
You see that knee tap again, just trying to knock Uriah Faber over.
I don't think that's going to work.
Well, having said all of this, he's doing the more positive work.
Well, there's no doubt that Nicky's winning at the moment, and Uriah's playing super defensively, but we could just have this for the next 11 minutes, really, and Nicky would take a decision. I'd be more interested in seeing Nicky try and stand, which is obviously what Uriah wants, allowing Uriah to actually try and wrestle him and see if he can catch something off of those transitions. If this strategy doesn't work after the first, 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Well, we're through the first 4 minutes, and Uriah Faber stands up, and that gives Nicky Ryan the leg entry straight into.
He's in big trouble now.
Cross Ashy.
Yeah, this is very deep already. See, he's completely tied up. He's got control of that far leg too.
See what heel exposure he can get here as he's going to bridge into the side of the knee once he goes back on the heel as well. He's got the secondary leg locked up here to stop Faber withdrawing it and getting back to his base.
Is that
a straight foot lock on the
Yeah, that's
secondary?
what he's trying to do, is use the rear naked choke grip on the secondary leg.
Expecting if he sees the opportunity to switch and turn that into a heel hook.
That's it. He can always go back to the leg he's actually got entangled, which is Faber's left leg. Roll through here, and this is where it's really dangerous for Uriah Faber. He's up on this hip.
Yeah, Nicky has so much space now to start the switch and turn this into.
Yeah, there we go. Look, he's going to switch back to that heel hook.
No hands anywhere near to defend.
Oh no, this is it. See, he's bridging in.
So Uriah doesn't seem to know exactly what to do in this position.
Yeah, he's trying to push that knee off. Rolling again. Oh, and they're going to have to stop for the edge of the mat. Now, you can't restart this in the locked-in heel.
Oh no.
Good tactics.
We get one more drag. We get one more drag.
This might have to be a lifted drag.
Yeah, if you ever needed people to stay in an entangled position.
What a drag it is.
See, look, Nicky Ryan's not even going to let the heel go.
I mean,
oh, this is bad. And the thing is, Uriah's going to try and roll straight out back at,
they're going to. This is such a. You almost have to just say you have to restart here.
Okay, the thing is, in a IBJJF, if you roll off the mat on purpose, it's over.
If
you
it's
can't
on
stop it
purpose,
like that.
but you had to roll that way to defend.
So
but
if
that's
you
the
roll it
correct
by
way.
accident, you restart them standing and give 2 points.
Yeah,
you can't do that here. But what you could do is tell the referees to bear this in mind when you're making your decision for
It's
that
not
round.
a bad suggestion, Mr. Strauss.
Yeah.
You want to judge next time? It's fine as long as it's in the proper defense of a submission, so with toe holds and things like that is fine.
And they've restarted them really right next to the mat again. He's just going to roll again.
Yeah. I would say I'm in favour of restarting and standing. There we go. Full drag.
What beautiful
Full
drag.
That was
Beautiful.
It's unfortunate because any way you slice it, this could affect the situation. Uriah Faber trying to defend this heel hook from Nicky Ryan. Inside heel hook. He's
almost
out.
free, yeah.
He's cleared the knee. Nicky Ryan trying to wrestle Uriah Faber on the way up. He's getting aggravated now.
Nick Brooks not knowing what the hell to do about this. Uriah Faber almost forgetting that we're in a grappling match.
He's pushing on the shoulders. I'm inclined to let this go.
Oh yeah, I'd let it go.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with that.
He's going for a Krav Maga throat jab.
Oh,
with the
heavy collar ties.
That was a solid club.
Nick is not happy about this. On the hand on the neck, hands on the face.
He's just trying to push him around, pull the crown of his head, trying to upset the posture, but
you know what? If I was Uriah, I actually wouldn't want to be pissing off Nicky Ryan right now.
You know, I said this in the run-up to this build-up, okay? A lot of people, we always kind of use the narrative, Nicky Ryan, he's 17, but let me tell you, this kid...
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. This kid is a fully grown, aggressive, 165-pound man. I know his bout's down at 145, but yeah, he walks around at like 165. The kid is very capable of dealing with the physicality
Be careful of this.
of these kind of bouts. Uriah Faber getting upset with the referee.
No, Nick's spot on here. You know, the fingers can't go near the eyes because then you risk eye pokes and cuts and stuff like that. It's side of the face, top of the head. Don't go in that area between the eyes.
So Nicky Ryan trying to get some wrist grips going here, and you see he's using that knee wrestling style again, coming partially up in order to re-enter the legs. 6:45 left here.
Uriah Faber almost accidentally passed the guard there.
The best kind.
Nicky Ryan again coming forward here.
You know what? This is a really good learning experience for Nicky Ryan. Just to have the experience of dealing with someone who is just trying to rough you up, basically.
Yeah,
no attempts to pass the guard. He's just trying to make you uncomfortable as possible. I do think that Nicky, at the moment, definitely up on the scorecards. So far, I haven't seen anything from Uriah Faber that would make me think he has not only just any way of taking a round, but any way of getting the submission as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Dan. He's really trying to rough up Nicky, and it will be great for Nicky in the long run to go through this.
This is interesting.
The elevation. Ryan gets him up, not able to drive that leg through the middle.
So heavy with his hips.
Yeah, he was very heavy with the hips and just kept his frame on Nicky's neck as well, stopped him getting under.
Yeah, you at this point, well, to be honest, since the first 10 seconds of this match, Uriah Faber has only tried not to lose. He has yet to show anything that he's trying to actually win.
Well, he could be waiting to try and get Nicky Ryan frustrated, particularly with all those hits, and then capitalize when he stands up. He did just try to jump over to the guillotine.
It's an interesting take on it. Yeah, that's the most offensive thing he's done all matches, attempt that jumping guillotine over the top.
Yeah, let's see if he can look for any more of those snap downs. We're going to go into the final 5 minutes here. Josh Palmer, Tom Barlow, and Daniel Strauss bringing you the last of tonight's action from Polaris 10.
What a night we've had.
We've had an incredible night.
Oh, it's been a great show, an amazing show.
Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping that up shortly with Dan Hardy after the conclusion of this bout. But Nicky Ryan looking to go back underneath. I love this half style of coming up to then create space to go back underneath. It's really interesting to try and force some movement out of the opponent.
You're seeing Uriah starting to try and jump towards that neck now, which he wasn't doing at the start of the match. So, like I said, it could be his tactic to try and wear Nicky down with his aggression.
You know, I'm really wondering if sorry, when I talk to Nicky after this, if I get some trash talk out of him. I think he'd be warranted at this point.
He's a pretty respectful guy.
You know, it's one of the things that he threatens so much from this position. You know, the wrist grips, the off-balance backwards, pulling forwards. It's unlimited offense, which just makes it so hard to deal with.
Uriah's opted to go one knee inside this time, which is a new thing for him.
Yeah, well, Nicky Ryan with both insteps still on the inside here.
Again, you see he's just trying to reach over that neck, trying to jump into that guillotine position with the chin strap.
It's really not going to work unless Nicky legitimately puts everything into coming up for a sit up into the butterfly guard, or to try and wrestle, sweep from this position. Otherwise, the chance of getting this guillotine, Uriah's going to have to overcommit a lot more than he is. And the reason he's not doing that is because he's so worried about getting caught in those leg entanglements.
Yeah, although to be fair to him, he survived an immensely deep inside position.
Wow, you know what? A bit of controversy there. There's a bit of controversy.
Yeah,
he survived,
fair.
and he was in a bad position when they restarted. But you cannot restart a heel hook
you can't.
in the same position that you left it.
So Nicky Ryan again trying to find a grip behind the knee, allow him to pummel through.
You know, had there been a
could use this
cage
to
wall,
come on top now.
had there been a cage wall on that heel hook attempt and Uriah unable to roll out, who knows?
Oh, and Nicky Ryan, got the grip elevated through. Oh, and he sits back down. I thought Uriah for a second might be able to hit a double there.
Yeah, I was hoping for a blast double.
The only thing he's hitting at the moment is Nicky Ryan's face.
Yeah, really trying to rough up Nicky Ryan here. And to be fair, you know, we honestly thought that was something he might do, you know, try and turn it into a scrap.
Yeah, we didn't think literally, though.
No, well, we use it metaphorically, don't we? We knew he was going to try and push the pace as well, but really it's Nicky Ryan pushing the pace.
Nicky's inverted now. He could have a sniff a leg there.
Let's have a look. 2.5 left in this one. Both title fights so far going the distance. The third maybe.
Nice little hip switch in the air from Uriah, just to counter that elevation.
This is 2 or 3 times that Nicky Ryan's managed to elevate Uriah Faber. What is it that Faber's doing, guys, that's managing to shut the attack down?
Well, he's just turning his hips in the air and it's killing the butterfly hooks, and he's able just to bounce off them.
You know, he's fought for so long and wrestled for so long. That gives you a base and a relationship with gravity that seems almost impossible. He's just able to get into the correct position to stop Nicky from getting all the way underneath him.
He's jumping, he's got that chin strap now as well.
Oh, it just slips out. That was probably the deepest bite that Uriah Faber's had. Nowhere near, but still deeper than he had before.
Yeah, Nicky's now into this half butterfly position. Well, Uriah's stapled that other leg to the ground.
1.5 minutes left of this match. Still, you know, definitely a lot more in the last round of this title fight, where Uriah's gone for some submissions, but it's really barely gone for submissions. Hasn't really been able to get anywhere through.
Oh, Nicky Ryan's, well, he just couldn't quite get the bite above the kneecap, slipped a little bit low. Half guard with that single butterfly here, back to...
People also need to understand how difficult it is to grapple with someone when you've been going for 15 minutes bare-chested.
Nicky Ryan looking for a triangle entry briefly. I mean, his triangle armbar series is phenomenal. We saw him just take Phil Harris out with that. But
yeah, but this is not Phil Harris. This is a very, very experienced fighter. Not to say that Phil Harris isn't, but you know, realistically, Uriah Faber on a much, much higher level there.
Yeah, one of the things we wondered outside of the leg locks was would Nicky Ryan be able to find a route to the back?
It's just Uriah Faber is just essentially just a rock at this point. You can't really do anything to him apart from that one very close leg lock attempt. Can't really do anything to him, but at the same time, a rock's not going to do anything to you, which is kind of the story of this match.
It's incredibly hard to fight someone that's not really doing anything apart from maintaining
He's
posture.
not opening up.
Yeah.
Tries to dive over once more. 10-second clacker comes in. We're going to see the match out here. It's Nicky Ryan gets inside heel hook with less than 5 seconds left. He's bridging in, and the time expires as Nicky Ryan gets a final entry.
Yeah, what a great way to finish that. Really put a full stop on that match for Nicky.
Yeah,
Good performance.
I think Nicky Ryan's obviously going to take the decision here.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you know, as you say, what an experience for him to go through, you know, Uriah Faber trying to rough you up, trying to deal with that kind of base and wrestling constantly from that position.
Yeah, it's an excellent experience for Nicky, you know. It's going to help him in just mental toughness to go through someone collar tying you and slapping you in the face for 15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see what Uriah Faber has to say after this. Let's take a look at some of the replays here. So this was One of the entries from Nicky Ryan. Guys, talk us through this. I'm going to go talk to the winner.
Yeah, he used that butterfly guard just to elevate Uriah and then backstep over the other leg and start entangling it. And as soon as he saw that heel, he started to bite into the heel hook. Uriah Faber didn't really look to know what to do in this situation and rolled out of bounds, which is obviously a good tactic to start freeing up the position. And then from there we got that restart and Faber was able just to push out and then defend Nicky's takedown attempt.
Yeah, a few times Nicky looking to turn some of those scrambles into a takedown attempt, but he's realistically never was going to put Uriah on his back in that way. Just scrambling back to the feet. Nicky pulling guard the entire time and just trying to work the entire time off the back.
Yeah, this is probably Uriah's best attempt here, just diving over for that chin strap.
Even that, it was nowhere near.
Yeah, Nicky easily defended it. And this is just the end of the match. Nicky again diving on that heel hook.
Really nice,
beautiful. And Uriah just survived until the end. So let's go over to our announcer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, for this championship contest, our sponsor, Tyrone Sullivan from WEB, will be presenting the championship belt. This contest goes the distance, and we go to your judges. Their decision, your winner, by unanimous decision, and still your Polaris featherweight champion, Nicky Ryan.
Here. I'm here with our retaining champion, Nicky Ryan. Nicky, very abrasive, tough fight. What was it like dealing with that pressure for most of that fight? I know you were the one putting the pressure on, but you know he was a lot of pushing. Frustrating, perhaps?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, you know, to try and go after someone and just repeatedly get palmed in the face. It's also very hard to make grips because he was shirtless, so like grips were just sliding off. Overall, very disappointed with my performance. You know, I would have much rather been able to submit him.
Was there a particular game plan coming into this? Was it to go after the legs? Was it to hump for the back? What was the thoughts coming into this one?
I stuck to my game plan. You know, I wanted to play a hip-heisting game so that I could put a lot of pressure on him, you know, coming up and down. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to break through. So, yeah, it is what it is.
What's next for you? You looking forward to defending this belt some more?
Yeah, I'll probably end up moving up to 155 and face Ash for that belt.
Sounds good. I'll be happy to see that. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for your champion, Nicky Ryan. Going to grab a word with our runner-up, Uriah Faber. Uriah, give us your thoughts on that bout. Frustrating for you as well, perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, Nicky and I got a chance to roll a couple months back, and I was aware of his back takes, and he was aware of my chokes from that one roll. And so he did a good job of staying away from the neck, and did a good job of, and I did a good job of shutting down his back takes. But you know, I told Nicky after the match, from a fighting standpoint, you box a fighter and you fight a boxer, and he's a technician, so I had to mix it up a little bit. I'm a technician as well, but I think the difference there with one of the best grapplers in the world was just. You know, he had a specific game plan. I was trying to find my specific game plan, and his butt scooting was first. So, you know, I would have liked to wrestle my feet a little bit and had some openings there, but that was the match. And, you know, part of the reason I took this fight was because I have a lot of respect for Nicky and his passion for the sport and his dedication to what he loves in life. And so, you know, I like to be able to showcase that. He deserves it. 17-year-old kid. I don't know if necessarily being 40 is an advantage by any means. I think I'd rather be 17, but the dedication he has is amazing. So congrats to him.
Since you retired from mixed martial arts, you've been getting a lot more involved in grappling showcases and matches like this. You enjoying staying busy, keeping competitive with these?
Absolutely. You know, I love to compete. Just in general, I do this every day of the week for free anyway. So I was like, yeah, I might as well take a trip to London and get a little grappling match with one of the best guys in the world. So, but I'm thinking about fighting here in a couple months, and this is just kind of a little play tune-up to get my weight down and get prepared for getting in and doing some battle.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure having you here. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for UFC Hall of Famer, Uriah Faber.
I want to say hi to my baby Callie and Jaslyn back home in Sacramento. I love you guys.
Safe travels.
He's not telling me what to do. Oh, we're doing... Yeah, have you got mic for that?
Off the mat. Yeah, off the mat. That's good. Perfect.
So that about wraps it up for Polaris 10 here. I'm joined by UFC analyst Dan Hardy. And Dan, busy night for you guys on the judges panel this evening.
It was nice up until the last 3 fights, and then it got really difficult for me. So yeah, it was a challenge, but you know, competitive matches, that's what we want to see in these high-level fights.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at some of those. We'll start with that title fight since it is fresh in our minds. Uriah Faber, Nicky Ryan. Uriah, exactly what he said, you know, he's trying to implement his game plan and fight the slightly more technical opponent.
Yeah, you know, trying to frustrate him, trying to wear him out, constantly break his posture, and, you know, play into the fact that Nicky Ryan's a bit younger, you know, perhaps over-enthusiastic, which he didn't. You know, he showed maturity tonight. I think Faber was trying to get him to bite on something, get him to make a mistake so he can, you know, jump on a neck and use his guillotine attacks, but Nicky Ryan, I mean, he's something special.
It's cool as a cucumber, really, wasn't he?
Amazing.
Yeah, he's managed to stay focused the whole time. That co-main event, though, it was the middleweight strap. That was a different ballgame again. Now, Craig Jones not able to find an entry on Mateus Lutis, but Mateus, you know, again, it was a tough one for you guys. We at the commentary booth had it 1 round apiece going into the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, I had it the same. You know, it was a real difficult one, but I'm always looking for the person that's causing the scrambles, that's you know, creating the panics. And I felt like Mateus was shut down from the outside for most of the match. He was constantly defending, defending Craig Jones's entries. So again, you know, another competitive match, but a real strong individual, Mateus. You could tell that.
Passing very loosely, wasn't he? Never really got deep on any passes. Jones was the one off balancing him repeatedly. You know, it was a good match, and I was very happy to see that Jones was able to make that 185 mark easily. I mean, it gives us some confidence that we can find matches for him wherever it goes.
Yeah, and a great call-out as well. Lovato would be a fantastic matchup for him.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see that. Of course, the first title belt that went on the line, another really close decision. Ethan Crelinsten, Ash Williams. Ash coming out the good side of it, but, man, that was a tough one for you guys. I mean, the amount of action that took place in that 15 minutes, it's unreal.
It was difficult to keep track. I mean, you know, dividing it into 5-minute sections really helps because I felt like, you know, Ash was very aggressive early on. You know, he ended up on top with a couple of good takedown scrambles. Then Ethan started to come back in the second stanza, and then the final one, I feel like Ash just pushed to the end. You know, he managed to scramble and get one takedown towards the end, and a couple of threats on the legs.
Yeah, that kept us very busy on commentary, I have to say. And, you know, we were losing track of a lot of it going through, so we're lucky we got you guys to flesh it out in the end. Before that, 2 real old-school MMA guys, Lee Remedios taking on Cal Uno. And Cal Uno, a bit too methodical once he got on top.
Yeah, you know, a veteran of the game. And it was interesting to see Lee Remedios back competing because we're familiar seeing Cal Uno on the Polaris mat. But Lee Remedios has been a bit of an enigma for a few years. It's good to see him back competing, but Cal Uno, you know, he's one of the best. I love watching him compete.
Yeah, been around for so long. I mean, I said in the intro to this whole thing, you know, 85 pro MMA bouts between them. It's an absurd amount of experience to bring into this one. But before that, it was a much quicker affair. It was a bout that everybody thought was going to be very, very even and ended up being anything but. Michal Perhovic going down via rear naked choke to Richie Boogeyman Martinez.
Richie Martinez and the whole freak show team, they're amazing. That I've grappled with him, I've grappled with Gio, and they just throw things at you constantly. It's a scattergun approach of submissions. And you know, Michal, he's a great competitor. We've seen him several times on the mat. He's very, very strong, but that back take from Danny Martinez was unreal. And I know those 10th Planet guys, when they get that squeeze locked in, it's difficult to get them off.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, you know, Michal started out very, very well. He had a lot of hype coming in, but this was a step up for him. And, you know, it's one he's perhaps got to go away, look at some things. And at the end of the day, you know, when it comes down to performance time, anything can happen on the day. So, you know, I'm sure we'll have him back again. There's a reason he has, you know, 3 submission wins on Polaris to date. So what, we started the night off, though, with the hype train. Big Nick Rodriguez taking out Ash Amos with a rear naked choke about halfway through that one. Give us your thoughts on that bout.
Well, he looked incredibly strong. He looked very, you know, a real physical specimen, and a young man as well. You know, he's gonna really grow into that body. Probably another one of the, you know, the Danaher projects that we're going to see rolling through these guys soon. But you know, Ash he's a tough, stubborn individual. He's a tough competitor. He sets the bar very high, and I feel like, you know, his opponent rose to that level tonight. A beautiful rear naked choke, but a hard fought fight.
Yeah, and I think that's what we all wanted to see. You know, we've kind of been making a bit of fun of it, but like Ash said coming in, he wanted a proper ding-dong. You know, he wanted to really get in there, get stuck in, turn it into a scrap, and he really did that. And very enjoyable moments. And I think that kind of movement from heavyweights is great, isn't it?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, you know, his takedown defense was amazing for the first sort of 2 or 3 attempts. It was the scrambling, the constant pace that finally caught him out. But, I mean, you know, an amazing pace for those 2 guys to be moving at, and I would have been surprised if they'd have managed to keep that up for full 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that pretty much sums it up for all the action from Polaris 10 this evening here at the Lighthouse in Poole. We've had a great time from Dan and myself and everyone else. Remember, August 31st, we're going to be at the Bridgewater Hall in Manchester. You've got a huge card coming your way for Polaris 11. That's all going to be live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. But from all of us here at Polaris 10, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.